It's come without saying that music videos have become a very prominent way of expressing music through visual storytelling, creativity, and just an art form in general. We often remember a lot of the songs we listen to because of music videos for the images that they have ingrained in our mind that will remind us of what they feel like, what they look like, or however you want to put it whenever we choose to put on a song. Music videos in general have had a general range of how much they would have an impact on their audience. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't mean that every single music video for a song is going to be good. In fact, it might even be fitting for the song if the song is really bad. But there's always this strange case I've always seen where I have a song that I genuinely enjoy, but I think the music video is absolutely abysmal. Now, of course, it's really going to depend on your music taste and your subjective opinion on whether or not you like a song that's being used in a music video, or being made into a music video, I should say. But I think there needs to be a point where we recognize that a song we like is being represented by an absolutely terrible music video. So here's a list of 10 songs that I think are good that have absolutely terrible music videos, as I just said. Before we get started, I just want to acknowledge that I'm sure that there are worse music videos out there for songs that people like, but this is my list that I compose of songs that I think are good with music videos that I think are bad. So this is mostly opinion based, but I think we can come to a general consensus that these videos are bad. So, yeah. Anyway, let's move on. Enjoy the list. Making music and music videos in the early 2000s can feel a bit rough, per se. But it's not rough because the music was necessarily bad, because it did give us some of the best music I've ever heard, with 2 albums from the early 2000s especially. It's just rough because this era of music videos felt the weird need to be edgy. Linkin Park is probably the biggest example that is guilty of this trend. And it's very reflective of their style when they came out with Hybrid Theory, which is one of my favorite albums ever, and my favorite Linkin Park album at that. When it came to watching all of the edginess unfold on screen with some of their music videos, it works from time to time because that's what the band is going for, but other times it just feels like it's just whatever crap they decide to throw on screen. Case in point, the music video for One Step Closer. When I first heard this song, when I heard the album, it initially came off as a song that is very anthemic for people who are just about to lose it and reach their breaking point. Hence the phrase, "'cause I'm one step closer to the edge and I'm about to break." But when you watch the music video, it doesn't really capture that feeling, in my opinion. It's really just a music video where they just decide to just rock out, I guess, in anger. So there's kind of a connotation with that. But really, it's just the guys messing around in this random abandoned tunnel. And I don't get what this is supposed to do or how it's supposed to tie into the song at all. Why are there random people hanging upside down? Why are there random guys in body paint just doing martial arts for no reason? I do not understand what's going on. If this is about somebody reaching his or her breaking point, then I have no idea what that experience would be like, because this is just way too confusing as hell. I guess it would be fitting if this was like a music video to promote the Karate Kid or Ip Man or any martial arts movie, given the martial arts performers in the background. But I don't know. It's just stupid without context, in my opinion. I would rather go about my day listening to this song without watching this video, because this just leaves me scratching my head. Thankfully, this is going to stay at the bottom of the list because it is that 2000s edginess that Linkin Park captures perfectly, I guess. Come with me. Putting this one on the list kind of bums me out, to be honest. The Killers is one of my top 3 bands of all time, and seeing one of their music videos appear here is kind of disappointing, in my opinion. But it's just because I love them so much that I really wish this video was better. Here we have the video for their song Bones, straight off of Sam's Town, and it's pretty straightforward, especially with how the video presents it, because, well, it delivers exactly what the title is. It is a song about people with bones, or who are just bones, like skeletons or whatever. Now, it's down here towards the bottom of the list as well because it does thematically fit in with what it's trying to do. Like how with One Step Closer, it's Linkin Park going for that 2000s edge all the way. And at least here with Bones, you literally do get a video with Bones in it. But what makes this much worse than One Step Closer is the goddamn CGI. I am someone who has always championed the use of practical effects over digital effects, especially in horror movies, and seeing the CGI skeletons in this video was pretty much an eyesore for me. They are so obviously fake that it ruins the immersion of the entire video. Like the effects of the people peeling off their skin or their clothes to reveal that they're just skeletons now, it does not look good at all whatsoever. So I gotta give One Step Closer credit for looking like it's been shot almost entirely practically. And seeing the killer's use of CGI in this video really hurts the reputation of this video. Not really that using CGI is bad, it's just that it's low quality CGI. So, yeah, I don't like it. That's really what holds it back for me, and why it's also so low on this list.
All we hear is Radio Gaga.
I'm genuinely surprised that I ended up putting this music video very low, considering how weird it is. But after looking back on it, it's not as bad as I thought, but there's still a lot wrong with it in my opinion. Here we have Radio Gaga by Queen, which is one of my favorite Queen songs of all time. I originally was more of a listener of stuff like Bohemian Rhapsody, Another One Bites the Dust, and that's really it. But then upon seeing the Bohemian Rhapsody movie, that made me more of a casual Queen fan who would actually tune into some of their music whenever I feel like it. So when I went to go check out some of their music videos, like, of course, Bohemian Rhapsody is one of their best. But then I went ahead to check out Radio Gaga's music video just because it's one of my favorites. And it left me both intrigued and kind of puzzled. Really, the biggest case here that it's suffering from is tonal whiplash with the visuals. The song itself is supposed to be something that's criticizing how we just listen to stuff on the radio so casually and they just play whatever and not really pay attention to the music that they're playing to make it special. But the music video itself kind of does, but also doesn't convey that at the same time. On one hand, you have these dystopian visuals about people who are stuck in like a World War II-esque state. And you have people looking back on some Queen visuals because this is supposed to be like a representation of how people in hard times like to really escape with nostalgia. But then when they go for more of the dystopian visuals, you really have these visuals that make it seem like this was made for the Flash Gordon soundtrack. And those red outfits that the band is wearing just look straight up stupid. I'm sorry. So it just feels like this video doesn't know if it wants to be a part of the Flash Gordon soundtrack, or if it wants to pay homage to the music video for Another Brick in the Wall by Pink Floyd. It at least has that Queen pizzazz that they're known for having that makes them stand out, so it does keep them pretty low on the list for being true to their uniqueness, but still that tonal whiplash doesn't really make the music video necessarily great, and I don't think it's very good. So while the two videos lower on this list know what they're trying to do, Radio Gaga goes higher because it does have a bit of an identity crisis.
It's there.
I can already tell from the beginning that this is going to be the video inclusion that people are going to go at my throat for the most, but who cares, it's my list. I usually do like Gorillaz' visual style, depending on how they utilize it for each album, but there comes a point where I just start questioning why they made the design choice that they did, and sometimes their stuff can come off as just being straight up weird. And I think the easiest example to point out to for this is their video for Dare off of Demon Days. For the song itself, you can interpret it as being about whatever you think it is, but then when you go look at the music video, it's just really head-scratch inducing in my opinion. Yeah, it's supposed to be one of those videos where you explore more of Kong Studios, and this time you get to see what Noodle's room looks like, but I really don't get what this is supposed to be, in the sense that it's supposed to be about the song Dare. You get a few funny cuts to like Russell in 2D during the video or at the end of it, but when you go look in Noodle's room and see what it's about in terms of the song or what she's supposed to be doing with it for the video, I do not know what's going on. I mean, you have a giant head, which is already weird. And I know that Kong Studios itself is weird, but why is this a thing? I never really understood. I also can't help but notice that there was this one blooper while they were making the video that made it into the final cut. And you know how you're supposed to lip sync to the video while you're making it and recording as if you're singing it in the moment? Well, there's this one bit where they're singing "It's coming up, it's coming up, it's coming up, it's there," and the guy misses the first time he's supposed to come in, and it's pretty funny. So that's just another reason why it's higher on this list than the other two below it. 1, it doesn't make any sense. 2, it's not really about the song. And 3, you have a filming error in it, which is hilarious. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this video at all. There's a lot of Gorillaz videos that are much better than this. The Black Parade is my favorite album of all time, and seeing that they made this music video, yeah, it easily was going to make this list. I Don't Love You is a really beautiful song, and I don't get how someone could say it's bad. You know who you are. But you know what actually is bad about the Black Parade? This music video that it got. For as much as I love the song and the album it's from, you might be wondering what is so bad about this music video. Well, it's one of those things where one small tiny detail can ruin the entire thing for me, much like the Bones video by The Killers. The black and white aesthetic is kinda cool, the band going all out is nice to see, and I think the design of the guy in all black is pretty cool because it could imply that he's also dead and part of the Black Parade, like he's a burn victim that got incinerated. But there are 2 very key things that ruin this music video for me. The first thing is a small nitpick, but I really don't like how Gerard's lips look like they have way too much makeup or lipstick on. It is a very severe case of staring into the uncanny valley at times. But the absolute worst thing about this entire music video is that the girl with the big eyes just looks so fucking creepy. This song is supposed to be lamenting, sad, tragic, whatever you call it, to make it miserable. But seeing this girl in this video just ruins the whole thing, and it's just really, really, really creepy to stare at. I get the Black Parade is supposed to be this dark and gloomy thing with weird and creepy visuals, but this is a case of just making something too creepy to where you just can't stand looking at it. This ugly abomination of a costume or facial design is just something I cannot ignore when watching this. This is one of the worst My Chemical Romance music videos, and the creepy girl design is what lands it on this list, no question. It's one I immediately thought of when making this video, and it's staying here. I do not care what you think.
I wanna grab the shoulders and shake, baby, snap out of it.
And now we have a video that just straight up feels like clickbait. Enter Arctic Monkeys with their song Snap Out of It. This is one of my favorite tracks off of their album AM, which is my favorite album by them, and I've come to interpret this song as being about a girl who is either losing her mind or is going through mind control. Does this translate well over to the music video, however? Not really. The video is really just about this girl who's hanging around her house, swimming in her pool, watching TV, not really doing anything. It's more of like a slice of life type of video, and I don't really see what this has to do with the message until she starts watching videos about Arctic Monkeys and sees clips of the band itself. But even then, that comes off as more like she's just a really obsessed fangirl. Not one who's really losing her mind over the band, more like she's just excited to hear their music. And it doesn't fit the vibe of the song about how it's supposed to be about losing your mind or mind control. Or that might just be me. Honestly, the clips of the band don't even need to be there, and the video would just feel the same. You could even have her doing more things like looking into like a hypnosis channel on the TV, and even that would convey a better message of something like that the song would give off. But as it is, it's just whatever. The video doesn't really do anything. I honestly don't really have too much to say for this one. This is just clickbait, if I've ever seen it for a music video. I have recently come to think that visualizers are an underappreciated medium of representing music, and I do sometimes think that they can count as music videos themselves. But you know what's worse than a music video that has an identity crisis or something like that? A visualizer where you can't even tell what's going on screen. And you could see this happening here with Time Bomb from Lifeforms by Angels and Airwaves. For those who don't know, Angels and Airwaves is a side project that Tom DeLonge started in 2006, which I love and adore so much. It's basically what would happen if Depeche Mode was abducted by aliens, and they really committed to a mix of rock and synth sounds. Time Bomb's intro alone is one of my favorite instrumentals that Angels and Airwaves has worked on. This is also one of those songs where I just rewind it so I can hear the satisfying intro that really makes my ears happy. This is the same thing that happens with something like I'm Not Okay by My Chemical Romance. When you get to the actual music video though, to put it bluntly, you can't really see what's going on and you can't even tell either. All it does is just stay zoomed in on the screen and it looks very pixelated for where it's at, or it looks like one of those disco visuals from like a throwback video or something. But keeping it zoomed in doesn't allow the audience to get the bigger picture and interpret what it's all supposed to mean or how you're supposed to visualize the song. The only thing you can clearly tell that's on the screen is this girl in white, but that's supposed to be the girl from the cover of the Lifeforms album, so that's not really saying much. I mean, you can also tell that there's motorcycles on screen, but what does that even have to do with the song? If you want the most charitable interpretation of this video, you could think about how this band is very space-oriented, and it could just look like a bunch of glimmering stars, or you're just watching a screen that's taking photos of the galaxy and videos of the galaxy, but that doesn't really offer anything that's more important or meaningful to the song. You could think of the visuals of a movie like how we just recently got Project Hail Mary and how its visuals are really cool and like this, but that's clearly not the intention because that was released years after this album came out. Honestly, there's not really much to say about this one. It's just one of those videos where you don't know what's going on unless you really stretch it. Tom, I love you, buddy, but this did not do justice for one of my favorite songs that you put out. I didn't expect Arctic Monkeys to make the list twice, but here we are. Don't Sit Down 'Cause I Moved Your Chair from Suck It and See has one of the most badass riffs that I have ever heard, and it really feels like it would fit in a Western movie. So I was super disappointed when I finally checked out the music video for this song for my first time. It really bummed me out seeing how they did not do anything like what I just said. If you thought Lifeforms' visualizer was pretty bad, this one is gonna straight up hurt your eyes to look at. They completely abandoned the idea of making it sound like a Western tune, and instead the visualizer goes for this sort of acid trip feel, which doesn't fit the sound of the song at all. And while you can argue that this does give off the feeling of an acid trip, what with the wavy colors and all of the distortion, it is not a pleasant sight to see, and you will have blurry vision by the end of it if you are very sensitive to this kind of thing. I get it if you're closing your eyes at this point of the video, but I just have to show you how it gives off that feeling, and it's not good. I'm just struggling to find anything to say about this video because it's just plain and simple with why it's so bad, and I don't think I need to go any further with that. So, don't watch this video. Save your eyeballs, save your vision, save your sanity. Well, I don't know about that much, but still, it's painful to look at. So don't watch it. What in the fuck am I looking at? Those words perfectly describe how I feel about the video for Too Far Gone by Metallica. When I heard that Papa Hetfield and his gang made a comeback with 72 Seasons, I took an interest into listening to Metallica's whole discography, and this band is so kick-ass. When I got to 72 Seasons as my final album to listen to, I generally liked it a lot. It is a really good legacy album for the band. But when I listened to it, I had to turn to some of the music videos on YouTube, And when I got to some of them, this one in particular was just, why? This is just the same issue as the 2000s edginess that Linkin Park participated in with the One Step Closer video. But worse. It just goes without saying once you just immediately take a look at this video. You can clearly tell that they're just using the title of Metallica just to be edgy for edginess' sake. And it looks really freaking bad. I mean, this shit looks like a horribly rendered PS2 game. The way their faces look in this video especially looks so unnerving that it's not even funny. I don't know if it was James, but whoever's idea it was, this was just one of the worst things that Metallica could ever come up with for a music video. I mean, it may as well have been Lars's idea since this looks as bad as his drumming, for fuck's sake. Now, for as much as I bashed this music video that Metallica put out, you're probably going to wonder what the hell is so bad that it's going to be even worse than this one at number 1. Alright, let's just stop pretending. Green Day fans already know which one it is. And now, at number 1, we have the dreaded reason as to why I made this whole video in the first place. You already know what it is. It's the video for Oh Love by Green Day from their album Uno. The trilogy era itself is divisive on its own for how they changed their style and production and how they put out 3 albums in 1 year, which causes some questions to arise about whether or not they put out music for quantity over quality or that it's just really rushed for the sake of putting more music out. And you can also argue that even the music videos themselves for some of the songs were either hit or miss, which is pretty divisive. But I think the general public, or at least Green Day fans like you and me, can come to a general consensus that this is by far the worst music video that Green Day ever put out. It especially sucks because this just gives Oh Love a bad rap, and it's not even that bad of a song. It's not even the worst off of Uno on its own. When you watch the music video for the song, you might be thinking, oh, okay, it's just Green Day chilling in the studio to play this song, and they brought a few dates along with them to just hang out. But as the music video goes on, it gets way worse. You're watching it and you're thinking, oh, this isn't too bad. What could possibly make it the worst music video that they put out? Why is it number 1 on your list? How is it worse than Metallica? This music video is straight up porn. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is literally Green Day depicting softcore porn for a music video about love. I mean, seriously, one moment you go from them playing in the studio and now all of the girls and some of the guys, particularly Trey Cool, are taking their clothes off for no reason. For a trilogy song. And it's not that big of a song either. I did not need to see pornographic material for a music video taking place during the Uno Dos Tres trilogy of all things. Green Day did not need to do this. Who the hell approved this? Why are we not pouring bleach in our eyes right now? Yeah, this is by far the worst music video I have seen for a song that I genuinely like. This is staying number 1 at my list forever, and you cannot convince me otherwise, and there will no be other option unless somebody puts out something worse. Yes, there's Jesse Murph's video for 1960, whoever cares, what the fuck. But that's a terrible song. This is a list of songs that are good that get bad music videos. Irredeemable piece of shit, get it off of my screen. This video was so exhausting to make. Thank you for watching. I hope you had a good time with my rants. And go listen to Oh Love on its own. Do not watch the music video. It will make the song better, I promise you. Anyway, go do the usual YouTube stuff. Go like and subscribe. And check out my Experimentals playlist. See you guys.